Welcome to the Exchange. Independent insights for technology leaders who need results, not rhetoric. Today we cover the impact of a government shutdown on federal IT projects. For federal technology leaders, fiscal uncertainty has become a constant and unpredictable risk to mission delivery. Continuing resolutions and the threat of government shutdowns directly jeopardize the continuity of critical IT initiatives, from modernization programs to core security operations. This environment demands a strategic framework to safeguard technology investments against sudden fiscal lapses. Our objective is clear. We must move beyond reactive measures and implement proactive, executive-ready protocols to protect mission continuity and maintain compliance with the Federal Information Technology Acquisition Reform Act. This briefing provides a structured approach based on the FITARA Solutions I-4 framework, designed to build resilience into your IT portfolio. We will examine the quantifiable impacts of shutdown risks, from demobilization costs under FAR to ATO expiration risks. This is about establishing controls today to ensure mission-essential systems remain operational tomorrow, regardless of the budget climate. This is the Exchange. Independent insights for technology leaders who need results, not rhetoric. Our goal is to measurably mitigate IT project disruptions from budget uncertainty. This requires establishing clear, time-bound outcomes that enhance resilience. First, we must target schedule protection, aiming to reduce project schedule slippage risk by 15% through proactive planning and pre-approved contingency protocols. Second, we must ensure contractor readiness by identifying and pre-authorizing 100% mission-essential contractor support for critical IT systems before any potential continuing resolution or funding lapse. Finally, we must focus on restart velocity, accelerating post-shutdown project restart timelines by an average of 10 business days through tested procedures and clear communication. These outcomes establish accountability within a 90 to 180-day window and directly support compliance by improving IT investment management during periods of fiscal constraint. By proactively addressing these three areas, we convert a systemic risk into a controllable lever for mission success. Federal IT programs operate in an increasingly unpredictable environment where continuing resolutions, CRs, and shutdown threats are now the norm. The measurable cost of this uncertainty is immense. The Congressional Budget Office, CBO, estimated the last major shutdown, 2018 to 2019, resulted in an $11 billion reduction in GDP. Beyond GDP, a Senate report found that $4 billion was wasted across 3 recent shutdowns due to inefficiencies and restart costs alone. These are the known risks: stop work orders, ATO expiration risks, and the freezing of new program starts. We have controllable levers, however. The GAO reported that federal IT spending totaling $95 billion is vulnerable to these funding disruptions, emphasizing the need for documented continuity protocols and clear funding prioritization. Understanding these quantifiable impacts is the first step in effective risk mitigation, allowing us to focus on the levers we can control today. A full-year continuing resolution poses a devastating threat, particularly to defense modernization efforts. Pentagon leadership warned in February 2024 that a full-year CR would prevent 156 new start efforts and block 180 production rate increases. This would result in over $26 billion in funding misalignments across the military services, directly impacting the ability to field next-generation command and control systems and cybersecurity capabilities. Furthermore, a CR acts as an innovation penalty by hindering agile acquisition strategies for emerging technologies like AI and machine learning. When agencies are locked into prior year spending, they cannot capitalize on breakthroughs or respond to evolving threats, leading to a compounding strategic disadvantage. A December 2023 GAO report noted that while 88% of recommendations to improve IT management were implemented, remaining gaps left millions in potential savings unrealized and increased vulnerability. To systematically navigate government shutdowns and their impact on IT projects, let's utilize FITARA Solutions I-4 framework, a structured, action-oriented approach. This framework is explicitly designed to align with federal IT governance and systematically protects mission-critical investments. It breaks resilience into 4 key phases. First, insights involves understanding the secondary effects of funding gaps on project delivery and mission readiness. Second, impact requires quantifying the mission and financial costs of delays, including restart expenses and capability gaps. Third, inspecting mandates verifying project continuity plans via structured assessments and compliance checks. Implementing involves executing protocols for resilient operations and rapid restart capability. This integrated approach embeds shutdown preparedness within existing PMO practices, transforming it from a separate initiative into a core governance discipline. Stop work orders do much more than simply pause IT projects. They unleash a cascade of unbudgeted financial and operational consequences. Under the Federal Acquisition Regulation FAR, contractors can charge for demobilizing and remobilizing staff and resources, costs rarely included in initial estimates. This is the Demobilization and Remobilization Tax. Contractors must incur billable hours to secure facilities, preserve work products, and maintain institutional knowledge during the funding gap. When funding is restored, the restart is not immediate, requiring contractors to charge again to reassemble teams and resume progress. A stop work order on a $50 million project can generate $1 to $2 million in unplanned expenses that must be absorbed through scope reductions or supplemental requests. This creates a financial multiplier effect. For example, a 2-week shutdown can result in 4 weeks of lost productivity when restart delays and knowledge erosion are factored in. Continuing resolutions, CRs, severely restrict federal agencies by preventing new programs or production rate increases without explicit congressional approval. For the Department of War, this profound restriction immediately impacts the fielding of next-generation warfighting capabilities. The February 2024 Pentagon warning highlighted this risk, with Secretary Austin warning that a full-year CR would halt critical new projects and cause funding misalignments. The Navy alone faced $26.6 billion in misaligned funds, directly threatening cybersecurity and logistics investments. Delays in critical systems, such as command and control and cybersecurity, directly compromise mission readiness. CRs also penalize innovation by preventing agencies from capitalizing on breakthroughs in emerging technologies like AI and quantum computing. This adherence to prior year spending levels creates a backlog of deferred requirements, straining future budgets, and resulting in a compounding strategic disadvantage. Government shutdowns do not pause cyber threats. They only pause our defense against them. Furloughing security teams halts critical operations, creating dangerous gaps in an agency's cyber defense posture. The most immediate threat is ATO expiration risk. An authority to operate requires continuous monitoring, which ceases when security teams are furloughed. Systems may continue operating with expired ATOs or unpatched vulnerabilities, exposing sensitive data and critical functions to exploitation. Key activities, like continuous monitoring via CM systems and critical patch management, are delayed, extending vulnerability exposure. The GAO warns that these security delays during funding lapses create opportunities for adversaries. For the Department of War, this risk directly threatens national security. Furthermore, the effort and cost required to renew an expired ATO often exceed any temporary savings realized from furloughs during the shutdown. IT project delays at the VA directly translate into degraded services for our nation's veterans. The impact extends far beyond financial costs, eroding veteran trust and compromising the quality of healthcare and benefits provided. The multi-billion-dollar Electronic Health Record Modernization (EHRM) program is a primary risk area. A shutdown-induced pause could delay site go-lives, disrupt patient care workflows, and postpone critical data interoperability milestones. For clinicians, this means being forced to operate with parallel or outdated systems, increasing the potential for medical errors. As illustrated by the delayed timeline, a pause can easily result in a 2-month delay in accessing modern care capabilities. Every postponed deployment is a missed opportunity to improve clinical outcomes and honor our commitment to those who served. Beyond EHRM, shutdowns disrupt the entire VA IT portfolio, including benefits processing and telehealth, compounding delays in service delivery, At the Department of War, IT project delays directly compromise operational readiness and strategic advantage. Disrupted modernization efforts reduce warfighter effectiveness and increase risks for personnel in contested environments. A delayed command and control C2 system upgrade is a prime example of this capability delta. A 3-month shutdown and restart cycle can prevent the deployment of a new system designed for enhanced situational awareness. This forces units to deploy with older, less capable systems, creating an operational gap where forces lack planned capabilities, which directly increases mission risk. This gap is not theoretical. It jeopardizes mission success and increases risk to service members. Furthermore, impacts on logistics and sustainment IT systems delay improved supply chain visibility and maintenance, which in turn degrades readiness metrics like Mission Capable Rates, MCR, and Full Mission Capable FC percentages. Effective shutdown preparedness requires a rigorous inspecting phase, focused on validating continuity of operations readiness. This involves a structured checklist approach to verify 4 key areas. First, are all mission essential systems identified and approved by the CIO? Second, have key contractor personnel been officially designated and pre-authorized by contracting officers for essential IT operations and security monitoring? Third is a clear, documented communication plan established for all stakeholders during both the shutdown and the restart phases. Finally, have funding vehicles been reviewed by program managers, PMs, and contracting officers for specific resilience and restart protocols? This inspection cadence should be conducted quarterly or after any major IT portfolio changes. All findings must be documented in the Program Risk Register, and PMs must brief agency leadership to ensure continuity planning remains a fiscal year priority. The implementing phase closes the gaps identified during inspection by building a phased, layered defense against funding disruptions. Wave 1, Prioritization and Designation, 30 days, involves finalizing and publishing all mission-essential IT projects approved by the CIO and identifying essential contractor personnel. Wave 2, Contract Engagement and Protocols, 60 days, requires engaging key vendors to establish clear shutdown procedures, updating contracts to include resilience clauses, and ensuring compliance with FAR guidance. Wave 3, Tabletop Exercise and Validation, 90 days, focuses on testing the plan, conducting a simulated funding lapse, validating communication, and documenting lessons learned to update continuity of operations protocols. This is not a one-time project. It is an ongoing program management discipline. Resilience must be integrated into standard project reviews, including regular PMR updates and the Integrated Master Schedule, IMS, to ensure continuous synchronization with project execution. The core challenges posed by government shutdowns require 3 deliberate, high-leverage actions. Challenge 1 is contractor knowledge dependency, where excessive reliance on contractors for system expertise creates a single point of failure. The action is to mandate knowledge transfer and documentation initiatives to build organic expertise. Challenge 2 is mission-essential ambiguity, where a lack of clarity causes inconsistent plan application and stakeholder confusion. The action is to formalize tiered service-level designations for all IT projects, for example, mission-critical, mission-supporting, and integrate them into continuity of operations plans and contracts. Challenge 3 is reactive restart procedures, where many agencies lack tested protocols, leading to wasted time and resources when funding is restored. The action is to proactively modify contracts for rapid restarts and conduct annual tabletop exercises to validate procedures and train stakeholders. Program managers must prioritize these actions, balancing effort against the critical need for immediate clarity and long-term resilience. The analysis shared in this briefing was informed by authoritative sources relevant to the federal audience. The quantifiable impacts of government shutdowns were supported by data from the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, regarding GDP reduction and a Senate report quantifying taxpayer waste across multiple shutdowns. The strategic threats posed by continuing resolutions were highlighted by the February 2024 Pentagon warning, including specific figures on new start efforts blocked and production rate increases halted. Our insights on security and management gaps were supported by multiple reports from the Government Accountability Office, GAO, specifically regarding IT management recommendations and the risks associated with security patching delays during funding lapses. Foundational principles for managing contracts and costs were referenced from the Federal Acquisition Regulation. Finally, the forecast for generative AI adoption was sourced from Gartner, projecting its role as a workforce partner by 2026. We encourage all federal technology leaders to review these critical documents to strengthen your agency's IT project resilience and continuity of operations. Thank you again for joining this session of the Exchange. Until next time, inspect what you expect.